What on earth is going on with Osmosis? Why did it more than double in a month? Is this simply just a lot of attention? Is this simply just a lot of manipulation by the whales? Or is there maybe real adoption happening on chain? In this video, we are going to look at the fundamentals, and we're not just going to look at the marketing jazz of the website, etc. We are going to look at what is driving demand and supply, because that's in the end what determines the price. This is the rally I'm talking about. We are currently at $1.73. And together with Osmosis, we see a lot of ecosystem tokens going up as well. Neutron, for example. Or how about Celestia, TIA? I made videos on both, so feel free to use the search function on this channel to get the fundamentals behind Neutron and, of course, Celestia that we have been talking about for quite a while on this channel. Now we want to look at demand versus supply. Let's start off with the demand. Demand comes from new products. It comes from growing products in the ecosystem. So do we see the total value locked on the Osmosis ecosystem going up? This is the total value locked in US dollars on DeFi Llama of Osmosis. And yes, this peaked way higher during the DeFi summer of 2022. The bear market also crashed Osmosis quite a bit. But now we do see somewhat of a recovery, at least since October of this year. This is in US dollars. Unfortunately, in Osmo tokens, that's not growing. Now, there is encouraging data around development. We want to see new products. We want to see advancements on the chain. And for that, you need programmers submitting code changes. Those code changes are called commits. And that's this chart over here, the number of commits per month. And the Osmosis team is building steadily also throughout the entire bear market. And so with that, we've got a number of decentralized applications now. Not many of them are Osmosis specific. The largest application by far is the Osmosis DEX. And so let's have a look at the detailed statistics around the Osmosis DEX. Now behind me is a dashboard of statistics around Osmosis as a whole, but also around the Osmosis DEX. And this does give us some quite vital information. Staking APR of Osmo is 13% roughly per annum. The trading volume is increasing very, very nicely and very, very quickly as well. That's a 90-day chart, especially since middle of October, the growth is pretty massive. And trading volume, of course, means fee generation, which is good for the token holders. Now, if you're supplying liquidity, like on Osmosis DEX, you get revenue. And this is the supply side revenue, growing pretty much in line with the transactions, no surprise here. And here's the revenue of the protocol or decentralized application. It's just another word. The graphs look very, very similar in nature. Now, this is all very, very good because what we did see in the past is price manipulation by centralized exchanges. We did see prices of various tokens going up simply because the decentralized exchanges try to create some volatility, try to create some trading fees for them. Now, in the case for Osmosis, we actually see underlying revenue, underlying usage on chain as well. In other words, I believe that this price rally is fundamentally driven. I believe this price rally is driven by demand, especially by trading demand. Now that's the demand side. What about the supply side? Have a look at the chart behind me. This is the token unlocks of Osmo over time. And this does look very scary. Just 1.5 years ago, we only had 100 million Osmo tokens roughly. Now we've got 650 million. But here's the good part about this. A lot of that inflation has already happened. 1 year from now, the supply will only grow by roughly 10%. That's not too bad. And so that supply development also explains the relative valuation of Osmosis to Ethereum. Now, I never look at charts just in US dollars. I like to look at the charts relative to ETH and relative to Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin goes up, when Ethereum goes up, then of course all the altcoins tend to go up as well and vice versa. I want to know the idiosyncratic movements. How is Osmosis outperforming or underperforming? And it did initially underperform, probably because of that supply expansion. So here we go. Osmosis relative to Ethereum, not relative to the US dollar. And this went down peak to bottom by 97%. That's what a supply expansion like this can do. But now that the supply stopped expanding that quickly, things can turn around. Actually, a lot of altcoins started to turn around in October of this year. And I've mentioned this several times on this channel, but the reason for this is because now money flows again into the centralized exchanges. The stablecoin market caps are going up. People are depositing their fiat, and then the centralized exchanges send this to, for example, Tether, that then issues tokens. The token issuance can be monitored on chain. This is a sum of various stablecoins. It's DAI, USDT, USDC, and BUSD, and this is turning around since the beginning of October. Stablecoins are mainly being used for altcoin trading, right? To get in and out of altcoins. So seeing this increasing is, I think, an expression of altcoin speculation going up. Thus, the altcoins are likely going to continue to outperform. So we've got two positive trends on top of each other. We see the crypto market expanding, and we see the supply of the Osmo token not expanding that much anymore. At the same time, trading volumes going up. The total value locked on chain measured in Osmo tokens, unfortunately, is not going up. And so in general, I am bullish on the token. I do believe that the US dollar valuation of Osmosis is going up. I also believe that it's likely going to outperform Ethereum, but for it to really go through the roof, we need to see new decentralized exchanges, new decentralized apps in general to be deployed on Osmosis to attract more capital, that this chart here is going up as well. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a free Telegram. Link is down below.